Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Just Roaming Design. My name is Matt and we're building out my van. Today is the second day of the Hydronic heated floor system, specifically the floor. Yesterday we cut it out, if you didn't see yesterday's episode, and we used a CNC machine to cut out a few layers. One of a composite material that's gonna hold the PEX piping, and the second layer is a piece of Baltic birch that's gonna lay on top of it. We also cut out a bunch of support shims, and we're gonna lay those underneath the floor, glue it all together. That's what we're doing today. Okay, so now that the back of the van is clean, I think the first thing that we're going to do is lay in these shims. These are custom made CNC cut shims, and they're designed to lift up areas that don't have existing ribs. So if you look at the van, it's got, you know, obviously a whole series of ribs that stick up. Now, I know it looks a little weird because I actually coated lizard skin over kill mat, which is on there. That's why it sort of looks sort of dented and soft, is because there's like kill mat underneath a spray coating. Normally it's a little bit more geometrically straight, but we have these shims here, and these shims will go ahead and fill in areas, because right here there's no lifting, and this is actually a really important area to have some sort of a support. So this is going to go there underneath the floor and lift up those areas. Again, the one on that side, there's all of these ribs here, which will go in these areas. They'll fill in these areas where there's, you know, a gap that's a little bit extra large near the wheel wells, and just sort of lift up those areas that need a little boost. This is the adhesive that is going to bond the floor to the floor. We've got them in some hot water to soften up. It's always good if you're doing like materials that are really dense that you're squirting out of a caulking gun or something. If you warm them up, they get a little softer. Anyways, here are the 4 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you didn't watch yesterday's episode, you can see, you know, that's where they cut in the actual inlays where the PEX pipe is going to go for the in-floor heating. We're going to glue these down, and we'll do them one at a time. So we'll do the front first, and then work our way back towards the back of the van. All right, so now I'm in my socks, and I'm going to start touching on the tops of these ribs, and then laying in these blanks here. Let's go. I love when the two pieces like link together. That's like something you can only get with like a CNC job or a really talented woodsmith. They fit together so perfectly. All right, halfway through. All right, so the floor is down, and there's still some areas that need to be pressed down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press off the ceiling and press down to the floor. We're going to put some weighted weights here. We're going to push it down and then just let it sit for exceeding amount of time. It's going to take a little while for this stuff to cure fully, and you want to let it do its thing. So what we're doing now is, like I said, using the ceiling to press down. We got a couple of beams that are going the length of the floor, and then I have a whole bunch of Victron batteries It's kind of funny. Like my sandbags are like like $2,500 sandbags probably. Anyways, yeah, we're using Victron batteries to weigh down the floor. They'll be there eventually. Okay, we're all set. Actually, I had to grab a couple extra batteries. They're pretty useful as weights to keep the floor weighed down. I mean, they're pretty dense lithium-ion batteries. They're 200 amp hours, 12 volts a piece. So I'm using 10 of those batteries. So that's like 24 kilowatts, 24,000 watts. It's kind of interesting working at a shop like this where you can, he's like, yeah, just take some batteries and put them on down. They're heavy, dense, you know, but there's a lot of money worth of batteries on that floor. It's like the most expensive paperweights ever used. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the adhesive to cure, it's going to be a long time, I figured I'd tackle a problem that I had. This is the window that I pull out, the CR Lawrence, and it was leaking. I don't know why. I called Van Windows Direct and asked him some questions about it. And he said that on this edge here, if you can see a buildup of caulking in the edge there in between, it affects the way that the clamp ring clamps onto the inner and outer wall of the van. And he says to dig that out anywhere you see it, and then he says that should help to solve the problem. Another thing that I did is I bought some extra closed foam edging, like all-weather edging, and I'll redo the edging around the window. This is a bus he's working on. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna see about replacing all of this as well, and then redo it, see how we go. Alright, so I put the new weather seal on. I had to trim it on the bottom side because it didn't go, obviously it's going to be, the sticky side is going to be out. But I also dug out the foam here, and hopefully we can get a uniform seal here and we can solve the leaky window problem. So I tried multiple things in order to make sure that when I replaced this window it was going to be good. And one of the things that I did is I replaced the hardware. So instead of these black screws, which you can't see but just trust me, I'm going with some stronger zinc solid screws with bigger, fatter heads so that I can get my screwdriver on them a little bit better. And I'm also doing some small washers. So this window uses this clamp ring, which is sort of its claim to fame. And the clamp ring goes all along the inside edge, and it basically sandwiches the window together. So I'm hoping that with the new hardware, the better weather stripping, and you know, a renewed spirit, and also digging out that little bit of foam stuck between the metal in the body of the van, that we can solve this problem. I'm going to do one at the top and one on the bottom, and then I can sort of take a little breath. I don't like leaving the window just sitting out there on its own without having the clamp ring at least engaged a little bit. But once I have a couple of these screws in, I can get a little bit more relaxed. All right, I'm gonna keep screwing around. Why are you screwing around? And we'll get her done. All right, all finished. I'm not gonna be able to test that window, obviously, until I can get it outside and spray some water on it, but hopefully the leak's fixed. Sam, the owner of Just Roaming, is working on another van here. It's called an adventure wagon package. That's pretty cool. Basically, it's all like a Tinker Toy package, and he put all of these components designed specifically for this van. Everything sort of fits into place. It has all sorts of options for power and accessories and stuff, and just sort of, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Pretty happy with how this adventure wagon's coming out?
A few modifications. Yeah, nice stoked.
So she chose the standard package and then upgrade. You could kind of click some boxes and say, I want to make it with this accessory or this accessory.
I mean, everybody changes like the base kit, and then but the things that she wanted that they wouldn't do is a floor that wasn't a smart floor. She wanted a crash tested seat install, so we're doing a JMG seat. They do heater installs, but she wanted it in a box, and then she wanted a Goal Zero integration. Otherwise, yeah, pretty standard.
Is it going to be finished this week?
It'll be done next week because we're waiting on a window, but it should be done either end of day today or early tomorrow.
Yeah, the ad wagon, everything is like pre-made, pretty much. So like these are panels that are preset by Adventure Wagon. This is a panel that was preset by Adventure Wagon. You can see everything sort of cinches together. They build on this this locking track. Today is going to be another floor day. Today we are going to lay in the PEX piping. How many times have you done that? We did this in like 10 minutes. Yeah. I didn't even use the full 30-minute time lapse, but. Look at that view out of the back of the van. That's pretty awesome.